Okay, I have some afternoon hot tea to spill. Elon Musk is trying to sabotage his dear leader, his boyfriend, his wife, convicted felon, Donald Trump's new AI plan, and it is juicy AF. So, first, here is a tweet announcing the $500 billion, I'm sorry, yeah, $100 billion spend on Project Stargate. Okay. So Trump announced this yesterday with Elon Musk's biggest competitor, his biggest rival. And so OpenAI, they tweet this. And then Elon can't stand it. He responds to OpenAI and says, they don't actually have the money. Then he doubles down and says, SoftBank has well under 10 billion secured. I have that on good authority. And then the CEO of Stargate, Sam Altman, who is Elon Musk's biggest rival, responds to Elon on Twitter, wrong, as you surely know, want to come visit the first site already underway? This is great for the country. I realize what is great for the country isn't always what's optimal for your companies, but in your new role, I hope you'll mostly put America first.
Oh my gosh, this is so good and
Uh-huh.
juicy.
So you
We've
have
got
these
Elon.
oligarchs. So you have these oligarchs battling for Trump. Trump made this deal, and here's just a few asides. It disgusts me to the core of my being that we can invest $100 billion in this, but we cannot have health care for everybody in the United States. So again, this administration is always going to prioritize the needs of the oligarchs, of the billionaires, over that of his supporters. But Elon Musk, I mean, if he's going to start sabotaging Trump's plans, there's not going to be enough room in Washington for those two to go at it.
No, and I did read that he and I think his name's Altman, the Stargate person.
Sam Altman.
So that Trump having Altman at his press conference was just like the biggest slap in the face to Elon, and Elon was madder than hornet about it.
Yes. And so, first and foremost, I think we have to establish that Elon is not really sound. I mean, it's wildly rumored, and there was video evidence from the inauguration that he appears he was rolling on some sort of, ketamine or ecstasy or something. His biographer has just said he's completely losing it. His former best friend, Sam Harris, says he's completely losing it. And so, I'm not saying that Trump's rock solid. I think he's a nut. I think he's a fascist. I think he's insane. So when you have these two crazy people that are megalomaniacs and insane, something is bound to happen here. But again, I want MAGA to realize these are his priorities. None of this, nothing, these first 3 days of the second coming of MAGA, none of it has mentioned reducing inflation or bringing the cost of supplies down. In fact, he has increased the cost of insulin. Biden had it capped at $35. Now it's already increased back up to $600. So Trumpflation has begun. And let me just tell you a little fact. Diabetes is far more common in rural America than it is in urban cities. And so rural America tended to vote for Trump by large double digit margins. So he's already screwing over his supporters for Big Pharma because he doesn't give a shit about you. And you guys are too fucking dumb to realize it. It's just insane how idiotic rural America is to believe this blowhard nationalist. He dry humped an American flag, therefore we're voting for him.
Well,
Next up, we have Trump on uh, his True Social, and here he is kissing Vladimir Putin's ass, which is, as was the easiest thing to predict. And he says, I'm not looking to hurt Russia. I love the Russian people and always had a very good relationship with President Putin. And despite the radical left's Russia hoke, we must never forget that Russia helped us win the Second World War, losing almost 60 million lives in the process. All of that being said, I'm going to do Russia, whose economy is failing and President Putin a very big favor. Settle now and stop this ridiculous war. It's only going to get worse. If we don't make a deal and soon, I have no other choice but to put high levels of taxes, tariffs, and sanctions on anything being sold by Russia to the United States and various other participating countries. Let's get this war, which never would have started if I were president, over with. We can do it the easy way or the hard way. And the easy way is always better. It's time to make a deal. No more lives should be lost. So this is day 3. And you may remember he said day 1 that
Right.
he would end the war. And the ass kissing and the capitulation to Putin, and the first part of that is American weakness at its finest. It is beta male city.
Oh, he's dying for Putin not to be mad at him for doing this. I mean, he is desperate to have Putin's favor, yet try to do some kind of, mitigation of the conflict. Here's what I was going to say. Are you fucking kidding me that we're trying to settle wars now on a subpar, second rate, bottom feeder truth social app? I thought we had the great little Marco as the Secretary of State. Why hasn't he blown in there and gotten this? I mean, it is repulsive to me that
Because
we're running around.
Marco Rubio is a hostage. I mean, the video that he did with Good Morning America, whoever it was Oprah's best friend that interviewed him, Gail
Oh,
King.
Gil King.
It looked like a hostage video. It was pathetic. He has no courage, no spine. You think he can stand up to Vladimir Putin? You think
No,
Trump can stand up to Vladimir Putin?
no.
Oh, and get this. Guess who the most popular person in Russia is right now?
Of Donald Trump,
No.
Tucker
Elon.
Carlson.
No,
Oh,
Elon Musk.
really? Because
Guess
of
who
the
it was
Starlink?
reported guess who was reported was talking to all through the Biden administration? Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin. And so we're all gonna have to keep our eye on all of this because I've always had this feeling that there are much darker forces at play. And during World War II, you had all of the democracies come together to try to come fascism. And now I feel like all the authoritarians are coming together. You
Right.
know, when you and I went to Hungary last year, Pumps, our host that was there told us CPAC, all of these Republican conservative organizations, Heritage Foundation, CPAC, they all have their conventions in Hungary because they crave that type of authoritarian rule and they hate democracy. MAGA hates democracy. Yes, you heard it here first. And proving that, let's pull up this tweet by Brian Tyler Cohen. Trump has revoked the Equal Opportunity Executive Order of 1965, rolling back 60 years of progress on civil rights. The order had prohibited employment discrimination in federal hiring based on race, religion, and gender. And this is what I have to say to all of the moderate MAGA voters that would say, oh, no, he doesn't care. He's not anti gay. And no, he's not racist. That's just what liberals say all the time. He has always been racist. This
Mhm.
movement has always been anti-gay because let me tell you something. When I find out that somebody is anti-gay, they're out of my life, full stop. When I find out that somebody is racist, they are out of my life. I'm Michelle Obama that shit. I cannot be morally duplicitous. I wouldn't go on that stage. I don't make space in my life for racists or homophobes. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do it. That is a deal breaker for me. And so everybody in the MAGA movement is abundantly aware that he is a racist, that he and his followers are homophobes, and the attacks that have already been through all of these executive orders on the LGBTQ plus community and on the Black and Brown community are abhorrent. They are disgusting and they are an absolute deal breaker for me. And I do not make space for these types of people in my life. And I know that there are a lot of people in the United States right now that are suffering. And you see Vogue magazine, Instagram a picture of Ivanka Trump, and you see all this other capitulation. I want you to know that there are millions and millions of Americans that will not bend the knee and will fight for your civil rights forever. And I will never make space for homophobes and fucking racists in my life, period. I never have, and I never will.
It's really disgusting how he has attacked. I mean, he started attacking DEI long before this. So anybody that's a MAGA moderate Republican, that's bullshit that they're not racist. They don't think he's racist because they have been race baiting race. If here's the deal, racism is not a deal killer for you if you're in the MAGA party. And it is obvious as the nose on my face, unless, Elon Musk isn't doing Heil Hitler. They make you believe stuff that's not true because you're not curious about the truth, but it is absolutely fundamentally gross. And the fact that he did it on day 3, where's the price of eggs going down, you motherfucker? We've got the Gulf of America. We've got insulin going up. I think I saw a tweet, Big Pharma had already increased their prices by over 1,000%.
Next up, we have the continuing whitewashing of January 6th. And here's a blast from the past. This crazy former Republican official, you'll recognize her instantly. You just cannot believe this jet stream of bullshit.
Like a prayer meeting on January 6th in DC. People were preaching the gospel on the streets. It was like a family reunion, the happiest people you would ever see. There was no discontent on the Capitol Hill.
Hey, Kylie, pause that right there. Keep it up. As an interior designer, I just want to say, if you look at the leopard paper
Yeah.
up against the Bengal tiger console, first and foremost, that is an egregious design violation. It is trashy. But secondly, Michele Bachmann saying that it was a prayer meeting, and the fact that people sit around and believe this shit. MAGA is so fucking dumb. They are stupid. And it just needs to be said. Your insulin, with all of your diabetes in rural America, it's already up. You're listening to this crazy, crazy person. These people beat up cops. So I don't want to hear back the blue again. I heard that one of the biggest police unions is so upset that Trump pardoned the January 6th inmates, criminals, convicted felons. And I'm like, he campaigned on it. Why
Right.
is anybody surprised? Promises made, promises delivered. This is Trump's America, you dipshits. He said this is what he was going to do, and he has done it, you fucking morons.
The only thing he doesn't do that he says he's gonna do, I mean, all the cruel retribution, hateful, mean, he does all that. It's any progress like bringing down prices or improving infrastructure or a better Affordable Care Act. He doesn't do anything positive. The only thing he can do is malignant, because he is a malignant human. He's miserable. He's unhappy. He is the president of the United States, and he's rolling around hurting people instead of putting people first. It's gross. And Michele Bachmann, go fuck yourself. I mean, you're a dipshit of the highest order. It's a
The thing
prayer
about
president.
Michelle Bachmann is there are millions of women like that. When
Yeah.
people say white women abandon uh, the sense of humanity and progress in this country, there are millions of Michelle Bachmanns that believe crazy shit like that are racist, homophobes, and it's disgusting. And I want all of the people that are scared right now in the country, whether you're a member of the LGBTQ plus community, whether you're an immigrant, whether you're a Black person, a brown person, a minority, or some sort of marginalized person, to know that there are people in this country that will not bend the knee to this, that will call out the oligarchy, because we still have agency over First Amendment for now. And we
For
will
now.
continue to exercise it as long as we can.
Yeah. Stay here. We're in the fight.
Okay, we will see you guys tomorrow. IHIP News will drop at 11 Central tomorrow. And then again, tomorrow we'll go live at 6 p.m. Tomorrow, our guest live is Senator Elizabeth Warren. She has a lot to say about Elon Musk, so be sure to join us then.
It's so